Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Star and Flurry. Opening with an apology once again. I didn't do readings for this week. I just didn't have it in me, and I'm sorry. And I think I'm going to discontinue because I don't feel comfortable uh, continuing when I can't be consistent. I know that there's people on YouTube that I come to depend on with their schedules, and when they deviate from them or whatever. I mean, I don't think it's my job to check in with their posts or whatever they're called every day to figure out when they're coming on. They are here, and that's what it should be. And I have failed at that. So my apologies for any and all who might have come to enjoy the readings, but I think I need to stop because I just can't be consistent, and I'm sorry. I will. I may start. I really had fun with my everyday readings because it kept me on top of things, and I felt like I got better and better at doing the readings. But when I started limiting it to one a week, I just wasn't. It became forced, like something I needed to do. I mean, when I had the challenge, yes, I needed to do it, but I had kind of an ulterior motive, an educational motive. Um, and with this current situation where I'm doing once a week, now suddenly the burden is on. Before the burden was on the education, now the burden is on me to do it, and it's the whole dynamic is totally different. And while I still enjoyed, once I got into it, I really enjoyed doing the readings. I just felt like I wasn't. Um, I felt like I was doing a disservice in the long run. When you want to go, when you go into a reading, you want to do it with, um, gusto and enjoyment and wanting to do it. And I found myself kind of, oh God, it's at Sunday. Oh, I missed it. Oh, I have to do it on Monday. That kind of thing, and that's got to affect the readings in some way. So I stopped that. So I think that's why I'm stopping it. And I think that's a good thing. I've also, I spent a lot of time doing these videos away from the camera, but just the camera focused on the cards, which has been really fun. Um, but it's also not me. You could do all you want with your hands, but I will tell you, I don't. Cheers, by the way. I don't enjoy videos where I'm just watching hands and cards. Um, and I realized that that's all I was doing, so I needed to adjust. And so I'm back back here, um, and back in the video fold. I'm going to show you a deck today that I really really like, and I hope to God I can remember the name of it. Please tell me I have the. I'm just realizing I don't. Oh, I do. Yay! I wasn't sure I had the box because I was like, I need to know the name of it and the author and all that. Um, I'm going to show you a deck today that I've really been intrigued by, and I will tell you that when I first got it, I couldn't even believe I got it because I was like, where's this coming from? Who ordered this? It's kind of I got it in the middle. I'm like, oh, this must be a mistake. And then I kind of backtracked and figured out where it came from. Pardon me. It was one of those pre-orders that I had ordered, way back when and months before it was being released, and I had completely forgotten that I'd ordered it. So it's like Christmas, it's a brand new surprise, and you open it and you love it because you yourself ordered it, even though you forgot. So I will show you that deck, and I will also tell you a story about it. But I'm going to catch you up on a few things with me. Um, so I am doing my trip to Cooperstown, which I've made mention here and there, um, to Cooperstown, New York, to watch Ichiro Suzuki get inducted into the Baseball Hall of Fame as a Seattle Mariner. I was there in 2016 to see Ken Griffey Jr. get inducted. I was there in 2019. I think it was 2019 to see Edgar Martinez get inducted, and I knew Ichiro was probably going to be inducted on the first ballot this year, and so I made plans to do that. Made plans to go, and checked with my good baseball friend, who's also a Mariners fan, in Rochester, and we had it all worked out, and everything was good. And I've gone back and forth on whether I was going to camp, whether I was just. I don't fly. I hate flying. And yeah, no, so I don't do that. So I was either going to take the train, which I've done the last 2 times, and you take the Empire Builder from either Portland or Seattle, and you go all the way to Chicago. Get off, get on the Lakeshore Limited, which is actually a much nicer train than the Empire Builder. At least it was the last time I was on it. And then I get off in Rochester and hang out with my friends and do all that, and rent a car, and then do whatever I want to do while I'm there. But this time, a year or so ago, I decided I would do that in my camper van. But then I sold my camper van because of a myriad reasons, all of which were totally stupid. And, well, not stupid, they were valid. But I didn't give myself a chance to readjust my thinking on the challenges that were making me hate the whole thing. So I wish I'd written down notes, because this is just freeform Nancy. Bear with. So I sold the camper van, and I don't know if I've told this story or not, and I won't go into it at length, but it got to the point where it's kind of like, well, if it sells, yay, and if it doesn't, yay, get another chance. And the bottom line is, it did sell, and the moment it sold was the moment I regretted it, because, and that's when I knew. I said, oh God, what have I done? So I didn't lose a lot of money on the transaction. I put all of it aside, kind of, I think, in the back of my mind, thinking I would do this again, give it a second try, and I did. I decided to do that. That's the end of the story. But in the middle, I came upon the movie that had originally inspired me to do this. It has nothing to do with vans. It has everything to do with mountain climbing. But I was, obviously I'm too old to take that up as a sport. So I translated into just basically, I need to get a life. And it involved into learning how to get out into the world on my own in a traveling sense. Since I don't fly, I was going to be on the road, so to speak, and find a way to enjoy that. And so I did, and then I hated it, and for a bunch of reasons, because I really hadn't done my research. I hadn't looked into it as clearly as I should have. And in my head, the bottom line is, in my head, I was thinking I will be a van lifer. And the point is that I am not a van lifer. I have my home. I will always have my home. I will never give this up as long as I'm capable of not giving it up. But it got in the way of me trying to enjoy my camper van, because I thought I need to camp for free. I need to, seek out, stealth camping, all this stuff. And all I ended up doing was scaring the bejesus out of myself. I'm a solo female traveler. I was ending up in places that were just like, oh my God, I can't believe I'm even here. Why am I here? I'm not safe. I hear every boogeyman that ever was invented scampering around my van. It was a nightmare, and I hated it. And all these glowing stories about how much fun it is, and people will come up to you and talk to you, blah, blah, blah. None of that was happening, because I was camping with drug dealers and people who had been there forever. These were not night campers. These were campers that had been there for 3 months, 8 months, 9 months, whatever. I was camping in places that I probably just shouldn't have been camping in. So thank you, universe, for watching out for me. But camping, where you go to a spot and you're scared of your neighbors, and so scared that you lock your van the moment you get there and never go out, yeah, not fun. And so when I turned it around and started thinking, okay, let's address these issues, I found out that one of the and it's the weirdest thing in my head, was that I can't pay for a campsite. That's just not part of the deal. Well, of course it's part of the deal. if you want, that, I think I've said this in a previous video, but that little bit of cost, um, pushes out a lot of the riffraff. Probably not all of it, but a lot of it. And so the few times I've had good camping experiences has been in places that I've paid for, and finally kind of occurred to me that, okay, if and it's still so much cheaper than a hotel still. So, why are you quibbling about 50, 60, 70 bucks? Come on. So I kind of got that going. Anyway, so one of the biggest, I don't want to go on for too long, but I kind of do. One of the things that was the biggest thing for me is after I sold the van and I was kind of thinking, what I want to do. I came upon rewatching the movie that inspired me originally to do the van, which was the mountain climbing movie called Meru, featuring Conrad Anker, Renan Ozturk, and Jimmy Chin. Probably, except for Conrad, probably before any of them were famous, specifically Jimmy Chin, who is now very famous photographer. But they're innately they are mountain climbers and alpinists, I should say. And anyways, if you haven't seen the movie, I highly recommend it. It's so good. So anyways, so I came upon that movie again, and I thought, oh God, I love this. I love this. I'm going to watch it again. So I did. And one thing I'd forgotten about in that movie was that they, and I'm going to spoil it here for anybody. So tune out if you don't want to be spoiled. But they failed on their first attempt. Due to weather and other circumstances. They basically ran out of food because they were kind of stuck on the mountain. They couldn't keep going until things calmed down, and they ran out of food and ran out of time. So what do? You come back down. And they were like 300 feet from the summit of this first ascent of Meru. So it just killed the ball. I mean, they left going, we'll never be back. We tried, we're done. And then through a series of interesting events that hit each of them in different ways, very life-changing, life-altering, mind-altering events for all of them. They rethought their thinking about their first ascent of Meru, or a first ascent of Meru. No one had done it since. They'd had other people ask for their beta, which is basically how they almost made it, and they readily gave it up so that other climbers could try the route. And I think one very specifically tried hard and failed as well. So so it was still open for our first ascent, and the three of them came together. And the story itself is remarkable. That's why I recommend you see the movie. But they decided to do it again, and this time they did it. And I was sitting there watching this movie for like the 19th time, and it felt like the first time, because I was like, oh my God, here they are. First ascent, fail. Go back and regroup, address, all these things happen, but also address the issues that, aside from the weather, which they can't control, but everything else that they can, readdress it and try again. And I walked away from that movie again inspired, saying, I can do this. I need to specifically look at the things that were getting in the way in my head. The Eight of Swords crap going on in here. And figure it out. And so I really sat myself down and spent a month or so kind of dialing all that in. And I think I finally got a handle on it, and I decided to buy another van, and so I did. And I am headed off this summer to camp my way across the United States, and to meet up with friends along the way, and some pretty exciting things coming up on that whole trip, and meeting up again with friends in New York and upstate New York, and then down to Cooperstown, and And then I'm going to go up to Canada again, which I can't wait because I love that country. Knock wood they let me in, and knock wood that I can get back into the U.S. Who knows? We'll monitor that situation. But I'm going to be able to meet up with my nephew in Montreal for his birthday, and I'm going to spend some time in Quebec City, which I just adore, and then back down through Toronto, and then across the Heartland again. So, well, not so much the Heartland, kind of the North Heartland, if you will. So it's going to be a crazy trip. It's going to be about 30 days approximately, and if everything, knock wood. Do I have any wood here? Please tell me I have some wood. If everything goes well, I'll be back in 30 days. And it's going to be a whirlwind trip, and I'm really excited. I'm also thinking that when I get back, I'll either love my camper even more than I think I do now, or I will hate it and will not be able to get rid of it fast enough. So I hope that's not the case, but it might be. Anyway, so upcoming is, and I don't know if I'm just going to start a different channel to document this whole process or just stick with this one, but it won't be highly tarot related. Well, it might be. I mean, I've been thinking, should I go to a campsite, hang my sign out that's free tarot readings? I don't know, because I like reading tarot. I really, really do. And I don't know if I'm particularly good at it. And, we'll find out. Anyway, so that's the plan. So I'll keep you guys posted. If for anybody who's interested in following along, I'll let you know if I decide. I may do just a separate channel because I think that I may want to invite along a lot of family and friends that truly have no idea I'm doing this tarot thing. And I've specifically left them out of it because I just don't want those expectations out there. I don't want to feel like I'm talking to my family when I'm talking on here. And so it's been nice to have this kind of separate channel when the only people who are watching it are people who have come to tarot and found my channel somehow, some way. But if I do the trip across the U.S., I may want to... I think I want to loop my family in on it and let them know about it. So I may start just a new channel just for that reason. And I'll keep you posted on what that is. Because I don't mind the tarot folks following along on that channel. Whereas those people might not be interested in the tarot thing. So I just, don't want to confuse the watchers. So... I'll keep you posted. Anyway, so today I was watching Lisa Pepez and Danny doing their hot takes on debts, and up came the El Santo Tarot, which I had just gotten out of the blue in the mail, and I couldn't even believe I got it. It was like, what, like I told the story. What is this? I didn't even think I ordered it. I actually had to check back to say, did I order this? And in fact, I did, like 4 months ago. And here it came. So it's a 2-part box, but not annoyingly bad. The cards all go together. Everything, they were not cut on different plates or whatever. They all did fine. And it comes with a great... This book has taught me more about tarot than almost anybody, except for Tammy Pie, who teaches me every moment of every video more about what I don't know. But this has been an incredible guidebook. And what's so interesting is Tammy Pie just did a thing on the Macchiato, I think she called it, which is a tarot deck game / game. Go watch her last video, but it talked about including a tarot deck that also includes the virtues and the zodiac. And this deck does that. Well, at least it includes the zodiac and then a couple of extra cards. So I don't know if those are the virtues or not. I haven't gotten that far into it. And now they're all upside down or weird. But anyways, I can't... So, slow down. You can tell I'm really excited. So, I'm watching Lisa Pepez and Danny talk about their hot takes, and up comes the El Santo Tarot. And I'm like, I just got that in the mail. I can't wait to hear about it. and they both are kind of like, yeah, now my thing. It kind of, and they were like, oh, it looks like Robert in Place, and I'm like, and I remember sitting there going, what? And in a way, I kind of get what they were talking about artistically, but in the long run, I did not I mean, it was like I don't even know what you're talking about. And they were kind of poo-pooing, and it's kind of, it seems cartoonish, and blah, blah, blah. They were going on, and all of a sudden, Lisa was like, well, wait a minute. And she started looking really more deeply at the cards. And there was a point at which Danny was kind of going, show me that again. Lisa had oh no, they didn't, neither one of them had the deck. They were looking at cards on the internet. So they were sharing the internet screen of the, probably the Amazon listing or whatever. And so they were looking at what was there, and all of a sudden they're like, well, wait a minute, what is this, and what's that? And all of a sudden they both got really, really intrigued, which got me intrigued because I'm so influenced. But it got me intrigued because I'll be honest with you, when I got the El Santo Tarot, I was kind of like, I don't know why I ordered this. It's got kind of in my head, it just instantaneously said cartoonish, which I don't care for. There's several decks out. I have a few of them, but I don't care for them, and I never reach for them. And I never think of Robert M. Place as cartoonish at all. So it was odd to me. First of all, it was odd to me that they said that about this, and then they kind of backtracked on that, going, wait a minute, that's not really the case, because it isn't at all. But it does, the artist has a bit of that, I don't know. I don't know enough about art styles to tell you what it is, but I'll show you. Anyways, and they're not in order at all, so sorry. But okay, so it's called the El Santo Tarot. These are the backs. It's a matte, you can see there's a little bit of shine on, which I call it a matte finish. Lovely cardstock. And it's also, it's got it's edged in black. It's not a, well, I don't know the difference, but it's not a gilt. It's not shiny. It's just black. And I don't think the cardstock is black. And the deck it's heavy. In a weird way, it feels like it's got the weight, to me, of a plastic deck, although this is not plastic as far as I know. And I didn't shine my light through it, and you can see a light through it, but not a lot. So I'm guessing it may be a blue core. I don't know. And I bring you down for a quick shuffle, just so you know what you're getting into if you decide to order this. It's a stiff cardstock, but it is shuffleable. Remember, my hands are small, and I can shuffle this just fine. So there's that. For FYI. Anyway, so I showed you the backs, showed you the sides. It's a regular size tarot deck. I don't have another thing here to compare it to, but whatever. So let's not start with that card. So here are the cards. So you can get an idea. Try to get away from, oh God, I got all these reflections. I'll try to get away, but know that this blue streak across the top is just my computer showing up. It's just a regular matte finish, but the colors are really brilliant. And so this is Six of Pentacles, obviously, Six of Discs. They take some liberty with the titles, but not much. So I think the rest of it's Swords, Cups, and Wands. I love this Seven of Swords. I remember seeing this the first time. I was like, that is really, really descriptive and cool. So what is that? Seven of Cups. I'm sorry, I can't see. My glasses are fine, but when I'm going between reading and distance, it's a little more difficult. Seven of Cups. Now the cool thing is they do have they have these on all the cards, which you probably already noticed. They have the card, the playing card sign here. So in this case, a heart, and they have then the element sign here, which of course is water, and they have that on all the cards. So I'm going to keep showing you this, and then I'm going to show. Oh, hello, that's upside down. And then I'm going to show you the really cool thing too. So, I mean, there's many cool things. So, also, they're pretty well color coordinated. So, you know when you're in the Wands, Swords are more on the yellow side. Again, swords, brownish yellow kind of thing. What is that? Fame. Oh, judgment. This is that's a major arcana. Anyways, and then the cups. I'm trying to show this. I should have planned this out better. Cups are more on the blue side. And of course the discs again are on the green side. So, and the font color is green, and the sword's yellow. Everything is really easy to see in that. The other cool thing that this guy did, which when I was or this guy, I say this guy, I don't know if it's a guy. Let me take a look. El Secretario should give this person some props. I don't think it's a guy. Michael J. Auger, Auger. Here, I'll put it down here just so you can see it. El Cento Tarot. Michael J. Auger. This book is just good. But the other thing is, when you are getting ready to organize this deck and put it in order, I'm just going to fan these cards out as if I'm playing a game, is number one, you can see all the colors. So you can kind of pull, cups. This is backwards to me, so I'm not doing this well, but the blue are cups, green, you know what each suit is. And they're numbered on the correct side. You know how when so many times the decks are numbered on top, which is so typical, but it makes it hard to, they don't do you any, they're of no value when you're trying to sort the deck and put it back in order. In this case, you fan this out just like you would any playing card deck, and all the numbers are there, all the colors are, that you know exactly what you're looking at. Well thought out, in my opinion. I don't know if it was a design thing or a well thought out plan thing, but thank you very much. This woman appreciates it so much. Again, it shuffles beautifully. So I'll just keep showing you some cards so you just get a little taste of it. So again, I can't see the other one, but the Devil, Seven of Wands. And I think the thing that Lisa and Danny were intrigued by was how much, as simple as these cards appear to be, there's so much in them. And I'm not going to sit here and walk you through what that is, because I have yet to figure that out myself. But I know that it gave me an incredible new appreciation of everything that's in this deck. And it has become, I know I'm such a fickle tarot person, but this deck has been it has literally been the only deck I've been playing with for this last week, because I just see something new every time I pull a card. I love the vibrant colors. I love that it's color coordinated. I love that the elements of the card associations are on here. This person has taken great care to include so much in each and every card. It's not a slip shot thing. It's just really well done, in my opinion. Again, I'm not super well versed in all this stuff. I try to be, but I'm not. So I'll stop there. I'm guessing that other people have done a walkthrough of this already, but if they haven't, let me know in the comments, and I'll go ahead and do one with commentary. But oh my God, this is the best deck ever. And the only thing I can tell you, oh God, I have to include this. The only downside is this 2-bar box. But I will tell you that as 2-part box goes, it's really nice. It came completely intact. It's cardboard, but it must be reinforced. I don't know, but it's good. And as I said, a lot of times you get these 2-part boxes, and the cards have just come off of different printers and different cutters, and they're always a little off. These are perfect, no issues there. And then the other thing you get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 19, 20, 21, 22 extra cards, 12 of which are Zodiac, and so obviously another 10. And so here's Pisces, Aries. I can't see what it's. Sea Monster, that may be in the middle somewhere. I can't remember who that is. The Taurus. I can't. Libra, I think, is the twins. Cancer. Leo. So those are the zodiacs. I'll swing past all of those. And then, I got to show the Aquarius, the water bearer. And then there's these other 1, 2, 5, 6. I guess they're 8. So 8. Yeah, I'm sorry. So there's 12 zodiac and 8. And I haven't read far enough to know if these are the virtues or what. But this is hope. The dragon. I always think of Tammy Pie when I see dragons. Which one's this? Sorry, I can't see it. The Grail. The Holy Grail. Prudence. The Falconer. The Vision. Charity. And Faith. So 20 extra cards plus the entire major and minor arcana in a pretty darn good little box. The Alcento Tarot, and the publisher is US Games? It is US Games, believe it or not. And I don't believe. Oh yeah, they snuck the logo in just when you least suspect it. It's on the side, so you can barely see it. So I won't even point it out. So they are getting better at not ruining decks by doing that, at least not on the faces. But for anybody who's interested in this deck, I'll put a link down below. But wow, this has got a lot of stuff going on in it, and I get very enamored with decks, and I'm as fickle as they come. But this one has been on my main desk for days, and that's highly unusual. I mean, I have decks that I go to again and again and again, kind of in the rotation, but it's rare that I have a deck that just sits out there because it's the first one I want to reach for, and this is that. So I don't know if that means that I'm bonding with it for the first time ever, or I still don't understand that whole process, but oh my God, I love this deck. And then, as I said, the guidebook, I just can't. I can't recommend it more. He goes into so much information about just that. I don't even. I can't. I could go on and on and on. He does a little brief on all the elements, then all the numerology part of it. Spends a bit of time in that, and then in the minor arcana, he splits it up by aces, twos, threes. Rather than putting the suits together, he puts them together by numbers, which is really cool. And then he spends, and then the major arcana comes at the end, well, after the minor arcana, and then he doesn't call them the virtues, but that's what I keep hearing them referenced as. He doesn't really have a name for them. And then the zodiacal cards. So there's a lot of information packed in this book. And it is opening my eyes in ways that they have not been opened in the 3 years I've been studying this. So, highly recommend. Anyways, so that's what I'm up to. I hope you guys are doing well. I hope everybody's having a good beginning to the summer. Welcome to Memorial Day, coming up soon. And I'm off to do a trip. I'm trying to run around in my camper van as often as I can, just to kind of get used to it. It's a little, it's a bigger vehicle than I'm used to. Taller, not longer. It's actually shorter than my previous van, but it's taller, so I kind of feel like I'm It feels a little top heavy to me, which I know it isn't, but I just need to get used to it. And so I'm doing a little 6-day sojourn up to Washington to see a best friend. And so I'm going to camp one night in along the way, and then spend 3 nights up with them, and then back down. And I may try to practice kind of vlogging. I'm not particularly good at editing, so that's going to be the glitch in the in the recipe here, but we'll see. So, anyways, I've gone on too long. Thank you so much for coming by. Always a treat. Thank you for listening to me ramble on about all sorts of crap. And again, I can't recommend this deck more highly. I think you'll really enjoy it. Although, let me say, I'm not here to sell you a deck. But if you've been hunting for one that's got some intrigue, this is one I might recommend. Okay, thanks so much, you guys. We'll talk to you soon. I'll keep you posted on what's going on. Okay, have a good one. Talk to you later. Bye.